You're eating salads. You're hitting your step count. You've cut out processed foods, swapped soda for water, added protein to every meal. And yet, somehow, your legs feel weaker climbing stairs. Your joints ache more than they used to. You're watching your body change in ways that don't match the effort you're putting in. What if I told you that the muscle and joint decline most seniors accept as inevitable isn't about aging at all? It's about a hidden biological switch that's been silently turned off inside your cells. And the foods that flip it back on aren't expensive. They're not exotic. They're sitting in the produce aisle right now. Here's what's really happening inside your body. Starting around age 50, your muscles begin a slow, relentless breakdown process called sarcopenia. Not from laziness, not from lack of willpower, from something far more fundamental. Your body stops receiving the nutrient signals it needs to preserve muscle tissue. Protein synthesis slows. Mitochondria, the energy factories inside muscle cells, begin to malfunction. Inflammatory molecules flood your system, attacking the very structures that keep you strong, mobile, and independent. And here's the part nobody talks about. This isn't a protein problem. Most seniors eat enough protein. This is a signaling problem. A communication breakdown between the food you eat and the cells responsible for muscle maintenance, joint protection, and metabolic repair. The longest-lived populations on Earth, those who remain physically strong well into their 90s, don't eat more meat. They don't consume protein shakes. They eat specific vegetables, daily, strategically. And those vegetables send powerful biochemical messages that turn on muscle preservation, shut down inflammation, strengthen connective tissue, and protect joints from the slow erosion most people believe is unavoidable. This insight didn't come from diet books or wellness influencers. It came from decades of research into cellular aging, muscle metabolism, and the biological pathways that separate frailty from vitality. And today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how this works, which 8 vegetables activate these pathways most powerfully, and why timing and preparation matter just as much as the vegetables themselves. If this kind of root cause, science-first health information is what you've been searching for, consider subscribing. I share insights like this daily to help you take control of your strength, mobility, and long-term independence naturally. Why muscle loss isn't about getting older. Here's where most people get sarcopenia completely backwards. They think muscle loss is a natural, unavoidable consequence of aging. But that's not what the research shows. Sarcopenia is driven by 3 specific, reversible biological failures. Loss of proteostasis, the system that builds and repairs proteins. Mitochondrial dysfunction, where your cellular energy production collapses. And chronic inflammation, which quietly destroys muscle tissue faster than your body can rebuild it. Think of your muscles like a construction site. Every day, old structures are torn down and new ones are built. Protein is the raw material. But without the right signals, the construction crews stop showing up. The demolition crews keep working. And slowly, steadily, your muscles shrink. Strength fades. Balance becomes unstable, independence slips away. Now, most people try to fix this by eating more protein. And yes, protein matters. But here's the hidden truth. Your body doesn't respond to protein alone. It responds to nutrient signals. Signals that tell your cells, build muscle, protect joints, lower inflammation, activate repair. And the most powerful source of those signals? Vegetables. Not just any vegetables, specific ones that contain compounds your muscles and joints are desperately waiting for. Let me give you an example of how profound this is. Researchers studying muscle function in older adults found that those who consumed just 1 cup of nitrate-rich leafy greens daily showed significantly improved leg strength, faster walking speed, and better muscle endurance, not from added exercise, but from the biochemical signaling those vegetables triggered inside their muscle cells. The vegetables didn't just provide nutrients, they turned on genetic pathways that make muscles work more efficiently, that increase oxygen delivery, that reduce fatigue and accelerate recovery. This is why some 80-year-olds walk miles every day, while others struggle to stand from a chair. It's not luck, it's biology. And biology responds to the signals you send it every single day through the foods you choose. Vegetable 1. Spinach and dark leafy greens, the muscle strength activator. Let's start with the most potent muscle-preserving vegetable group on earth. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard, collard greens. These aren't just healthy foods, they're muscle signal amplifiers. And the key compound inside them is dietary nitrate. Not the synthetic kind found in processed meat, the natural, protective kind that your body converts into nitric oxide, a molecule that fundamentally changes how your muscles function. Here's what nitric oxide does. It dilates blood vessels, flooding your muscles with oxygen and nutrients. It improves mitochondrial efficiency, so your cells produce more energy with less metabolic damage. It enhances muscle contraction speed and power, and it reduces the oxidative stress that accelerates muscle breakdown. Studies on older adults consistently show that those with higher dietary nitrate intake have stronger legs, better physical performance, and lower risk of falls and fractures. But here's the part most people miss. Timing matters. Leafy greens work best when eaten consistently, daily, not sporadically. Your body needs a steady stream of these compounds to maintain the nitric oxide pathway. 1 cup a day is the threshold. Below that, the effect diminishes. Above that, the benefits compound. Add spinach to your morning eggs. Blend kale into a smoothie. Sauté Swiss chard with garlic as a side dish. These aren't just meals, they're biological instructions to your muscles. Instructions that say, stay strong, stay functional, stay resilient. And if you've been told that leafy greens are hard to digest or too high in oxalates, understand this. Cooking breaks down those compounds. Lightly steaming or sautéing greens makes their nutrients more bioavailable while reducing potential irritants. The longest-lived populations don't eat raw kale salads obsessively. They cook their greens, gently, daily, and their muscles stay strong for decades longer than those who avoid vegetables altogether. Vegetable 2. Broccoli and cruciferous vegetables, the joint protecto. Now let's talk about the vegetable family that doesn't just preserve muscle, it protects the joints themselves from the slow, painful erosion most seniors fear. Broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage. These cruciferous vegetables contain a sulfur-based compound called sulforaphane, one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory molecules found in food. Here's why this matters. Joint pain and stiffness in older adults aren't just about wear and tear. They're about inflammation. Chronic, low-grade inflammation that activates enzymes called matrix metalloproteinases, which literally break down cartilage, the protective cushion between your bones. Once that cartilage erodes, bone rubs against bone, pain intensifies, mobility declines. And most people accept this as inevitable. But sulforaphane does something extraordinary. It blocks the inflammatory pathways that trigger cartilage destruction. It neutralizes the free radicals that damage joint tissue, and it supports the production of collagen, the structural protein that keeps cartilage strong and flexible. Research into osteoarthritis has shown that individuals who consume cruciferous vegetables regularly experience less joint pain, better mobility, and slower progression of joint degeneration compared to those who avoid them. Think of sulforaphane as a shield for your joints. Every time you eat broccoli, you're intercepting the inflammatory signals that would otherwise attack your cartilage. You're calming the biological fire before it causes irreversible damage. And here's the preparation key. Sulforaphane forms when broccoli is chopped or chewed, activating an enzyme called myrosinase. But heat destroys that enzyme. So the optimal strategy? Chop your broccoli, let it sit for 10 minutes to activate sulforaphane, then lightly steam it. This preserves maximum joint protective power while making it easier to digest. Add Brussels sprouts roasted with olive oil. Toss cauliflower into soups. Ferment cabbage into sauerkraut for additional gut health benefits. These aren't side dishes, they're medicine for your joints. Daily, consistent, powerful medicine. Vegetable 3. Beets. The blood flow and muscle endurance booster. Here's a vegetable most people overlook, yet it might be the single most effective food for reversing muscle fatigue and weakness in older adults. Beets. Deep red, earthy, and packed with a specific form of nitrate that transforms muscle performance at the cellular level. Remember nitric oxide? The molecule that dilates blood vessels and improves oxygen delivery? Beets are the most concentrated dietary source of the nitrates your body converts into nitric oxide. But beets do something spinach doesn't. They improve muscle power output, the speed at which your muscles contract, the efficiency of your mitochondria during physical activity, and the recovery time after exertion. Studies on older adults who consumed beetroot juice found significant improvements in muscle contraction speed, walking endurance, and cardiovascular function. Not after months, after just 1 week of daily dosing. And here's what shocked researchers. The improvements weren't just in muscle performance, they extended to brain function. Because nitric oxide doesn't just help muscles, it helps every tissue that depends on blood flow, including your brain, your heart, and your nervous system. Think of beets as a biological unlock code for circulation. When blood flows more efficiently, nutrients reach muscle cells faster. Waste products like lactic acid clear out more quickly, fatigue decreases, strength increases, and all of this happens without added exercise, though combining beets with regular movement amplifies the effect dramatically. Now, you don't need to drink beet juice exclusively. Roasted beets, pickled beets, beet greens sautéed with olive oil. All forms work, but if you want maximum potency, beet juice or whole roasted beets consumed about an hour before physical activity deliver the most immediate performance boost. And if you're concerned about the sugar content in beets, understand this. The fiber, antioxidants, and nitrates far outweigh any blood sugar impact, especially when consumed as part of a balanced meal. Vegetable 4. Tomatoes, the anti-inflammatory muscle shield. Let's shift to a vegetable most people think of as a fruit, tomatoes. And inside them, one of the most researched anti-aging, muscle-protecting compounds in nutritional science, lycopene. A bright red carotenoid that doesn't just reduce inflammation, It protects muscle cells from the oxidative stress that accelerates sarcopenia. Here's how oxidative stress destroys muscle. Every time your cells produce energy, they generate reactive oxygen species, unstable molecules that damage proteins, DNA, and cellular membranes. In young, healthy bodies, antioxidant systems neutralize these molecules quickly, but as you age, those systems weaken. Oxidative damage accumulates. Muscle tissue breaks down faster than it can repair. Weakness sets in. Lycopene is one of the most powerful antioxidants your body can use to fight back. It scavenges free radicals before they damage muscle cells. It reduces inflammatory cytokines that promote muscle wasting. And it supports mitochondrial health, ensuring your muscles produce energy efficiently without excessive metabolic damage. Research has shown that higher lycopene intake is associated with stronger bones, better muscle function, and reduced markers of aging-related cellular senescence. But here's the preparation secret most people miss. Raw tomatoes contain lycopene, but your body can't absorb it efficiently. Cooking tomatoes breaks down cell walls and makes lycopene bioavailable. And consuming tomatoes with a source of fat, like olive oil, increases absorption even further. This is why Mediterranean populations who cook tomatoes into sauces, soups, and stews have such remarkable longevity and low rates of muscle decline. They're not just eating tomatoes, they're preparing them in a way that maximizes nutrient delivery. Make a simple tomato sauce with olive oil and garlic. Roast cherry tomatoes until they burst. Add sun-dried tomatoes to salads. These aren't just flavor enhancers, they're muscle protectors, anti-inflammatory shields, cellular repair signals wrapped in delicious, versatile form. Vegetable 5, bell peppers, the collagen builder for joints and connective tissue. Now let's talk about a vegetable that rebuilds the structural foundation your joints and muscles depend on. Bell peppers, especially red and yellow varieties. These vibrant vegetables contain more vitamin C per serving than most fruits, including oranges. And vitamin C is the rate-limiting nutrient for collagen synthesis, the process your body uses to build and repair cartilage, tendons, ligaments, and the connective tissue that holds your musculoskeletal system together. Here's why this matters more as you age. Collagen production naturally declines after age 50. Without adequate vitamin C, that decline accelerates. Your joints lose cushioning. Your tendons become brittle. Your muscles lose the structural support they need to contract efficiently. And most people trying to support their joints focus on supplements like glucosamine, while ignoring the nutrient that actually builds collagen from the inside out. Vitamin C doesn't just support collagen production. It protects existing collagen from degradation. It reduces joint inflammation, and it accelerates recovery after physical activity by repairing micro damage to muscle fibers and connective tissue. Studies have found that individuals with higher dietary vitamin C intake report significantly less joint pain and stiffness compared to those with lower intake. Bell peppers also contain carotenoids and capsaicin-like compounds that have their own anti-inflammatory effects, creating a synergistic protection for both muscles and joints. And because bell peppers are naturally low in sugar and high in fiber, they stabilize blood sugar while delivering these critical nutrients, making them ideal for seniors managing metabolic health alongside physical health. Eat them raw in salads for maximum vitamin C. Roast them with olive oil for better carotenoid absorption. Stuff them with protein-rich fillings for a complete muscle-supporting meal. Bell peppers aren't just colourful additions to your plate. They're structural repair agents, joint protectors, collagen factories in vegetable form, vegetable 6, sweet potatoes, the glycogen replenisher and muscle fuel. Here's where we address a misconception that causes many seniors to avoid one of the most muscle-supportive foods on the planet, sweet potatoes. Some people fear carbohydrates, believing they cause weight gain or blood sugar spikes. But here's the biological reality. Your muscles run on glycogen, a stored form of glucose. And without adequate glycogen, your muscles can't contract properly, recover efficiently, or maintain strength over time. Sweet potatoes are rich in complex carbohydrates that replenish muscle glycogen without spiking blood sugar the way refined carbs do. They're also packed with potassium, a mineral essential for muscle contraction and nerve signaling. Potassium deficiency, common in older adults, leads to muscle cramps, weakness, and fatigue. One medium sweet potato provides about 12% of your daily potassium needs, helping restore the electrolyte balance your muscles depend on. But sweet potatoes offer something else. Beta-carotene, a precursor to vitamin A that supports immune function and reduces systemic inflammation. And magnesium, which works alongside potassium to regulate muscle relaxation and prevent cramping. Together, these nutrients create a muscle-supportive environment that few other foods can match. Think of sweet potatoes as muscle fuel. Not empty calories, not inflammatory carbs, strategic, nutrient-dense energy that your body uses to rebuild, recover, and perform. The key is portion control and preparation. A medium sweet potato, baked or roasted with skin on, paired with a source of protein and healthy fat, becomes a complete muscle-supporting meal. Add them to post-activity meals to maximize glycogen replenishment. Include them in regular meals to maintain steady energy without blood sugar crashes. And if you've been told to avoid all carbs for health, understand this. The populations with the lowest rates of sarcopenia and the longest health spans eat carbohydrates daily. They just choose the right ones. Sweet potatoes, not bread, not pasta. Whole, fiber-rich, nutrient-dense roots that fuel muscles without damaging metabolism. Vegetable 7, Brussels sprouts, the bone-muscle connection strengthener. Let's address something most people don't realize. Muscle strength and bone strength are interconnected. Weak bones lead to weak muscles. Weak muscles accelerate bone loss. And one of the most overlooked nutrients in this relationship is vitamin K, abundant in Brussels sprouts and other cruciferous greens. Vitamin K does something extraordinary. It regulates calcium, not just pulling calcium into bones, but preventing calcium from depositing in soft tissues like arteries and joints where it doesn't belong. This process, called calcium homeostasis, is essential for maintaining bone density, muscle function, and vascular health simultaneously. Without adequate vitamin K, calcium supplementation can actually worsen health outcomes by calcifying tissues that should remain flexible. Brussels sprouts provide over 100% of your daily vitamin K needs in just 1 cup. They also contain sulforaphane, the same joint protective compound found in broccoli, plus fiber, vitamin C, and folate. This combination supports bone remodeling, reduces fracture risk, and protects the connective tissue that links muscle to bone. Research has shown that higher vitamin K intake is associated with stronger bones, better muscle function, and lower risk of falls in older adults. But here's the preparation strategy that maximizes both taste and nutrient absorption. Roast Brussels sprouts at high heat with olive oil until caramelized. This breaks down the bitter compounds that make some people avoid them, while preserving the vitamin K and enhancing the absorption of fat-soluble nutrients. Add garlic, lemon, or balsamic vinegar for flavor. These aren't just side dishes, they're bone muscle system reinforcements, daily signals to your body that say, keep building, keep strengthening, stay resilient. Vegetable 8. Carrots, the vision muscle coordination protector. Here's the final vegetable, and it addresses something most people don't connect to muscle health: coordination, balance, the neurological signals that allow your muscles to respond quickly and prevent falls. Carrots, rich in beta-carotene and antioxidants, support not just vision, but the neural pathways that control muscle movement and reaction time. Falls are the leading cause of injury and loss of independence in seniors. And while strength matters, coordination matters just as much. Your muscles need clear, fast signals from your brain and nervous system to contract at the right time with the right force to keep you balanced and stable. Beta-carotene, converted into vitamin A in your body, supports the health of nerve cells and the synapses that transmit signals between neurons and muscle fibers. Carrots also provide fiber, potassium, and antioxidants that reduce systemic inflammation, protecting both muscle tissue and the nervous system from age-related decline. And because they're naturally sweet, easy to prepare, and incredibly versatile, they're one of the simplest vegetables to incorporate daily. Raw as snacks, roasted as side dishes, blended into soups, juiced for concentrated nutrient delivery.